What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It's noon. It is Central Time. It's Thursday. I gotta check my audio here. Welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us. All right, so what we're gonna do is, you know the deal on Dispatching Live. We're gonna look at the load boards. We're gonna talk about what's making us crazy. We even have a live guest today. What we want you to do is please do jump in the live chat, say hello, let us know what's happening with you, what you want to talk about, dispatching, brokers, carriers, tech, auctions, Copart, bill of lading, I mean, whatever you want to do, because you can do whatever you want. This is Auto Transport. We're going to be live for 90 minutes. Please do feel free to click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link, send it to somebody. I know you've seen what's happening on Facebook. By the way, leave a like. Thank you. I know you're watching Facebook. I check it out sometimes too. I just peek at it and then I run off. But it is, people on Facebook are clearly saying the same thing we say here. What is going on with the load boards? What is going on with the rates? Trailers are up for sale and people are still getting in. It's crazy. It's so interesting, and we are here to try to help impart some knowledge. Help us do that. And let your friends know. Let's do this. I want to bring in my co-host. She is running for president.
Of Central.
Of Central. Oh, okay. And do me a favor, share your screen when you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen. Sue of Murphy Auto Transport Services. Sue, how are you doing today?
I am doing okay. How about you, Jay?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm still pissed, though.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. That's what I was going to call the show, Still Pissed.
Still pissed. There you go. I've been raving to you all week long still about all this stuff.
Oh, I know.
God.
You send me the emails, and I'm like, okay, I got to, it's like, I feel like a short order cook, and the waitress keeps bringing me, orders. And I can't let them all just sit, so I gotta organize them. I'm like, I'm working here, so it's pretty funny. Before we dive into all of why we're still pissed, what is the load board volume today?
We are at 26,656. Last week we were at 25,649, so we're up 1,000. So really nothing, because this is going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the loads are still crappy, and the loads are still like non-existent, and all that good stuff. It's been a real struggle still, and I would have thought by now we would be coming out of this huge slump that we've had for what now? This started back in the end of August, right?
We need like an auto transport groundhog. 6 more weeks of crappy loads.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact.
How did we miss that? We should have done that.
In August is when we started going down. I've got August 4th was 31,000, and we just kept going down and down and then back and forth. So yeah, it started about August, I guess the beginning of August. So that'll tell you something right there. We should have already been out of this.
All right, so if we do Crappy Loads Groundhog, that's the name of it, by the way. I just kidding. Crappy Loads Groundhog, what could we do what would be the logical American holiday benchmark for the end of summer letdown? Is that what it's called? Like,
oh, when it goes, when we turn the corner.
End of summer slowdown?
Yeah.
Or
end of summer crash.
Put it in the live chat. We got Crappy Loads Groundhog and end of summer crash. I like that. What do you agree with that? Do you think it's something different? Is it,
No, this is a typical cycle, but usually by now we should be back up where we were. In fact, let me go take a gander here, because I keep all these from every week. So back on 2/4 of 22, we were at 61,695.
Whoa, 2/4/22. That's really good. You know what? Thank you, Sue. Keep doing that, because I've been begging and praying for like a loads volume historical weather map something.
Oh yeah, I've got it all the way back to 21 when we started, so we're good.
Okay, so all right, so do you have 2/4? Okay, you said 2/4.
No, because we started. What I've got on here. When did we start? Because I've got 7/16 is when we started. of 21.
Oh,
Does that
wow.
sound about right?
Wow.
And it was at 41,736. Now that may not be, I may have another sheet someplace else, and this is just my current one, but
Yeah, I
this is
hear
the
you.
most current thing I have. Now
But
I
a
will
year.
tell you, last year in February, the reason why that 61,000 was because of those huge storms we had for 3 weeks in a row, because it
Oh,
dropped in 1 week's time 13,000 loads after that week. And I think it's because everybody was picking them all back up. We were able to get back up on the road. But
nice.
still, we did not start like 217 was 42,000, 47 was 46,000. I mean, we're not even close to being in the two on that 210 range of even 48,000. We're at 26,000. So, yeah, that tells you something right there. That's 20,000 loads basically less than it was last year. That's crazy.
Okay, so Ty in the live chat, top 3 reasons why volume is down. And as we do that, let's go into the live chat and say hello. Ty did get in here first. He's still in love with you, Sue.
Hey, Di.
Um, Candy has you running for president. Now, you said you're going to run for president of Central Dispatch?
Yes, that's what I need to be.
Do they have, is that a vote? Do they take a vote?
Now they take them both.
Right now, what if somebody at Central Dispatch heard that? What would they think? Are they smiling?
Nah. I don't know. I guess it depends on what else we say today.
Okay, good point.
Could go either way.
Still pissed, running for
Yeah.
president.
Yes.
Not a good platform.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Hey y'all, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Vance Exclusive Logistics. By the way, mic check. How's the audio? Seems a little wacky. No, we're good.
I'm fine.
Hello everyone. What's up, Ty? Vance is here from Exclusive. Douglas is here.
Hey, Fritz.
And by the way, contributors of today's show, Vance.
Danny's here.
We have something from Vance. We have something from Douglas. Fritz is here. Carlos is here. What's going on, you guys? Danny is here. Silver Mint, Blue Chip Carriers named their price. Oh yeah, we had a good time Tuesday night. That's in industry news too. Let's see. Okay, cool. And by the way, what am I trying to say? Last Thursday's show.
We had them. They're at.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's working. Last Thursday's show, Sue is pissed, is burning up the ratings. One of the highest rated dispatching lives.
Really?
We've ever had. Yeah.
Awesome.
That is. It's cool. Which should tell you guys something. It's hard to say now. I tell you what's interesting. I put in there, give a like if you've got one, and only half the audience is liking. Who's the other half? Lawyers? I'm just saying.
Oh man.
I don't know what's going on, but I do know that we're leading the charge. If there is a siege tower and an angry mob, I think we're near the front. But we're just televising the revolution. I'm not here to stir the masses. Well, but I'm here to at least cover the stirrage. I don't know. Yeah, all right. We'll go into industry news here in a minute. Wow, we're already almost at 10 after. So before we do that, and we do have stick around for our special guest. In 20 minutes, we have Renee Lowe from Harding Brooks Insurance Agency. And she's going to be learning more about dispatching, brokering, because she wants to better understand on behalf of her agency. We're really lucky to have Renee join us tonight, so it's going to be cool. So, did I say tonight? Did I say today? Well, anywho,
My phone started ringing. Sorry.
Right. So, all right. So, where are we? What are we doing? What do we need to make sure we cover?
We definitely need to still cover some more of this ratings crap.
Okay, that's in the news. We're definitely going to do that. Is there any? I guess you don't know what's in the news. Maybe I should go into the news.
Yeah, maybe we should go into the news.
All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. Camera one. Thank you so much for joining us again on Dispatching Live here on Thursday. I don't know why there's not 100 people watching. We don't care anymore. You can do whatever you want. This is Auto Transport. Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Pretty much. We'll go over that.
But send in the news. Send us your crappy rates. Send us your trailers for sale. Send us your cool loads. Send us, bad weather and, It's a wake up call. This is Thermonuclear Thursdays on Dispatching Live. It's America's favorite auto transport dispatching show.
Is there another dispatching show?
No, Sue. Okay, Sue is still pissed from last Thursday. You know, it's funny because we've had some real doozies already this year. We had Globally Awesome. Does anybody want to guess who's globally awesome? Anybody remember? Put it in the live chat. Don't say it. Okay. So Globally Awesome we covered, and we've gone into some other stuff. And now we're on to the wonderful transactional ratings are here, dealio. Sue is just loving life, and she's here to share it with us, screenshots and all. I'm not even sure why I have that one. Hey, now I got this. Hey, Jay, do you have any comments on the Central Dispatch ratings update? Is there going to be a show?
They missed the Sue's Piss episode.
I'm like, really? Yeah, there's going to be many shows. That's the party. Thank you so much for joining the party. No, I actually appreciate this.
Dispatch.
Yes, but I think this is a real example of, I don't know how there's still only 20 people in America that know about ATI. But, you know, whatever. It's fun. Sue typed this. I think.
Oh, whoops.
Do you have any regrets about typing that?
Well, maybe using the F word, but you know, other than that, no, not really.
All right, exactly. There we go. So from now on, we can't even give negatives if a driver cancels. And what?
Yeah, that's what I was just talking to you about.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you're saying if it says exactly on the dispatch sheet, walk
and
me
they
through
cancel. So if you, like, I don't know about other brokers, but if I have an IAA or a Copart or a VIP client and I put on there, I want you to pick up exactly on this date and deliver exactly on this date. If they cancel before picking up, we can't give them a negative where we used to put late show, no go, or whatever it was, right? Now you can't do that because the only way you can give anybody a rating at all is if they have delivered the car. Now tell me how fair that is.
God. I get it now.
Yeah.
You can't give. Can you give any kind of review?
No. Not unless they have it delivered. Yes. So how is that accomplishing anything?
All right. So that now, okay. So the order of the day is book everything and do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Nobody can give you a negative. Cancel,
that is awesome.
You know, it don't matter anymore. They can't even give you a rating that says anything about you, about communication, nothing, because you have not done that load.
Now,
so I don't know how that's supposed to help us.
Can you Yelp on a restaurant that didn't serve your food?
Well, yeah.
Why can't you Yelp on a driver that didn't pick up a load?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, for example, IAA Copart, if they didn't pick up on the date they were supposed to, there's storage fees. And I make them pay the storage fees because that's the way it works in this world. If you tell me you're going to pick up on a certain date and you don't show up and you know it's IA or Copart, you're responsible for those storage fees. That's what we've always done. All brokers do that. However, now we can't. They can just cancel and do whatever they want.
What's the point of using the word exactly?
Yeah, why even put it in there?
Exactly.
Why even put it on there? What does it even matter what date you put on there? Truly.
All right.
I mean,
so I'm going with exactly still pissed.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. That is some craziness. Wow. Thank you for sending that in. Okay, now they can't get what is this going on?
So this happened yesterday. We got 2 vehicles for one of our drivers from Ready Auto off their load board, picking up at Carvana. So we all know if you pick up at Carvana, you got to have a release usually, unless it's a Carvana load themselves, and then you show them your actual load sheet from Carvana. So when Jen called and said, I need the releases, the lady told her, well, I'm sorry, but we can only give these Carvana releases 48 to 72 hours it takes to get them to you. So first off, why would you list the car, right, if you don't have the releases? Well, I told Jen, I said, call the dealership. I guarantee you they have the releases. We called him. He was pissed. He said, I gave the releases to Rat when I gave them the order for pickup. And he said he was pissed off. It was ridiculous that they didn't have them. And he sent it directly to us so that we could pick up the car. Because all Rat said is, it's 48 to 72 hours. You better cancel the load. We won't give you a ding on your whatever they call it for canceling load because this is our fault. Well, yeah, clearly it is obviously your fault because nobody knows what the hell is going on over there.
Yeah. No, I've seen this before where it's funny, and somebody put VIP in the live chat. That was the thing on the VIP loads, is that even though everybody's really important, nobody can talk. And but if you could get through to the customer, they would actually tell you stuff that you never heard before because nobody can talk because you're a VIP.
Right.
It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. Actually,
We just picked up a VIP one just a second ago.
right, no, that is. Are you okay? You got a VIP load. Are you able to talk to anybody?
Nope. Just them.
Right. VIP. I don't.
I don't understand it either.
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
Qualification
Why?
for VIP? It wasn't even an expensive car. It was
You
just
wouldn't VIP be like better communication?
yeah. It was a 2012 Mazda 3.
And
okay?
they do VIP means no effing talking to nobody,
Yeah.
yo.
You're not allowed
Okay.
to talk to nobody
Hey.
because why?
Hey,
Because you're a
you.
scumbag transporter? Is that why?
You pick up the car and you shut up. All right.
But you better give us 2 hours.
Oh my god, was that too much? Canceled.
say
Yeah, I think we just got canceled. Let's see what else we got. Pump this in your dispatching office. Shoot, pump it in any office. You know, hack into the matrix at the Starbucks and pump it into Starbucks. I don't know, because we now know there's a dispatching live effect. It seems odd at first, and then once you realize it, you're addicted to the truth. So, join us in our journey. And it's kind of like driving in a whiteout. You begin to realize there's a lot more at stake
Is that
than you
Dalmac?
thought. Yeah, this is Wisconsin. I think Douglas sent this
Yep.
in.
Dalmac, yeah, that's the name
Oh,
of his
Dalmac. Okay, cool. So
But
shout
it's
out Dalmac. Yeah. He's got a couple more photos coming up. We always oh no. You telling me the dumpster's on fire?
Always.
Not just the roof? Okay. We talk about following the disconnect between sales and operations. This is how I explain it to an executive, right? Because we say this and they're like, oh my God, that can't be true. Well, this is definitely true. Because people are selling things that can't be done. Or it needs to pay more. Like VIP. VIP is a perfect example. Why are you selling worse communication?
Right.
Why? We know if it's VIP. Listen, if you're selling a VIP load, boy, oh boy. I haven't hit on this for a while. If you're selling a VIP order, we know they're paying more. What would otherwise be the point? Right?
Yep.
That'd be like nobody sells a VIP box seat at a game for the same price as general admission.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's the whole point, is to make more money. And if you're going to make more money on the shipper, why can't we talk to him? I don't get it. I'll never understand it. But,
Well,
I got
and the
issues.
VIP rates are not VIP rates either. I mean,
well,
truly.
hey, Sue,
I'm
you're not going to see more money.
well,
Stop.
they're getting more money.
Thank you. And by the way, we're not going to talk about it. Show me the truck. I always say, show me your truck. So, this was sent in.
Oh,
What are we doing? What is this?
what the?
What in
That's
the
not a
Billy
real
Bob is
trailer.
this? Right?
Those people are going to be so pissed when they get their
I
car.
I
I bet it's a
know.
fork on, fork off, right? But Jesus, really? I've
That's-
never seen no shit like that before.
Isn't that why I've never seen this photo? I just want to say thank you so much for sending this in.
This is not how you transport a car, though. There's your number one. Don't do this.
Oh, Ty sent that in.
That's hilarious.
Hey,
Ty.
Ty, did you add this to your slide deck? Because the dealer's going to want to see this.
Oh, yeah. Too bad the name of the company isn't where we can see it as well.
I'm actually glad it's not.
I guarantee he's not. He's freight or something, right? What kind of trailer is that?
Is this what happens when you post your car on a freight load board?
Maybe, or is this what happens
Right.
when you place your car on there for 22 cents a mile?
And how many people don't know
That happens.
that you're doing it wrong?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just picking up another car. Listening to Kenny
Strapping
Rogers
around
again. You know, like
the
what?
metal.
I'm just a rambling man. You know, like, what is this?
Oh
Wow.
my God. Yeah,
Wow.
and it's
Yeah,
gotta be
next.
forklift
Yeah,
on, forklift off. That's the way
wait
that
till
thing's coming off.
wait till we see the shipping container like teetering on a Cottrell. Like
These
dum,
are
dum.
the okay, so these are the people that call me and say, "Is this a fork on and fork off?"
Probably. That's probably right.
I've
Do you
had people
guys
ask me that.
and they're probably like, do you guys do you have like some 2x4s we can use? Right? Do you guys have any wood?
Oh, good Lord.
Or even like, hey, when we get there, do they have any chains?
Yeah, those rims are screwed.
Oh my god.
They're done.
That is nuts.
That is completely nuts.
Such a fun picture. Thank you, Ty.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good one. Now, as opposed to, so Dalmac says, cool load. One of the coolest loads. This is a pretty cool load.
Mustang, and what is that other one? And a Mercedes?
Let's see here. That is a, what does that say?
EN, a BMW? What is that?
Skyline? I think it says
Looks like an
Skyline.
E. I would thought that was like an Acura or something like that, but I can't tell what that is either.
I think it
First I
says,
thought it was a Mercedes, an old Mercedes, but it's not. The Mustang is sweet.
yeah, it is. Yeah, there's Dalmac in the neighborhood. Beautiful sky. So what's your route?
Skyline. That's what he said. What's a Skyline? I've never heard
What
of
is,
that.
yeah, so yeah,
Carlos
it's
said it's
a
a Skyline.
Skyline. A Skyline
What is
Toyota.
Skyline?
Hmm.
Huh. Never heard of that.
Learn something every day. What's your route, Scout? Send it in. Let us know. I had to bring. Okay, we're gonna get into. I had to bring this up again. I was talking about this Tuesday night, and I was right. Look, the first deadline's already gone. How many drivers haven't even opened this email yet?
Probably many because mine went all spam.
I'm telling.
Oh, Supra. Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
I'm gonna blow a gasket if I don't have some of my ELD punch. This is madness. This makes me so.
So now it's March 3rd, huh?
Yeah. So you're okay. You've already missed one deadline. You haven't even opened the email yet. And you're hitting another deadline. That's tomorrow. And then yeah, your final deadline March 3rd coming up soon. Nobody cares. Just another day.
So really, I mean, what is?
Crazy.
I mean, we did it for our drivers, but what is it really accomplishing? Is what I want to know.
Well,
I mean,
that's it. That's
gonna
the
kick you out, and you can't
Well,
help them anymore.
yeah. I mean, to me, this is all right. This is my opinion. My opinion is this is another way of kind of trapdooring your business into some compliance that you don't even realize is happening.
Yeah.
Because if the auction you're connected to, I'm just going to talk in generic terms. I can do that. You can replay this back. If the auction you're connected to is increasing their buy fees and their sell fees and experiencing a downturn in customer transactions,
Mm-hmm.
if you see business problems coming up ahead and you've already put out that email, there's no handshake deals, you're going to be more inclined to figure out which carriers are can you lock into compliance and legal whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be your carriers coming up. It doesn't matter if they're good or not. It matters that they comply.
Right.
Right? This is kind of Kim Jong-un logistics. Now, that is an opinion, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. In fact, I would suggest somebody look to see if Kim Jong-un logistics is available, because I think we're gonna see more of it, and you're gonna be right at home. All right.
And Vance is right. When we filled out the thing, they asked you if you're willing to invest in your company to get these loads, like adding more drivers, adding more people in your office.
And I tell you, and I think one of the problems that we had Tuesday night is that while everybody wants to build relationships, The carrier wants to make sure, okay, if I build a relationship with your company, that doesn't mean you're still going to lowball me, right? Relationship should imply value.
Right.
And value implies payment. Because why
Right.
else does a carrier do this?
Right.
Like, I don't need, warm and fuzzy logistics. I need money.
Right.
So if you're not going to pay me more, then why the F do I care?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, did you get the memo, Sue? Here's a good one. Oh, forgot about this. This is not a good one. We had Daniel on last week to talk about the scams on Central Dispatch. I can't confirm or deny if there are scams on Central Dispatch, but Daniel is positive there are, and he talked about it. Anything to add?
There's got to be something going on. And I know he said he did his stuff through, what was it, A and B or R and B? Didn't use bats, he used something else, right?
Doesn't use bats?
No, he didn't use bats. He used something else, and I can't remember the name of it. My question is it possible it be coming through there someplace too? Now, don't get me wrong. I honestly believe that Central Dispatch can be hacked. Anybody can be hacked, right?
Well, there you go. Anybody can be hacked. Yes. And as we move into a more digital world, more and more people will be hacked.
Yes.
And I think the problem is Daniel's saying I think Daniel said that they said that this doesn't exist.
Right. That's what they told him. This is
Okay.
only happening to him. And I would find that very hard to believe unless someone is just out to get him, which that doesn't even make any sense either.
Well, and he said he keeps changing his password.
Yes, which is awfully odd, right?
Right.
He changed his email. He changed his password. He said, 10, 12 times? I mean,
It almost sounds like a vendetta.
Yeah. For them to be tracking him and following that, someone's in there. Somebody's doing something.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's freaky.
Yeah, it really is.
What else we got here? Okay, you sent this in. So I guess you weren't getting emails, then they said you are getting emails. Is there a
they went
spam
to
problem?
a spam. Yeah, they said they went
Yeah.
to a spam. How is that possible? Is what I want to know.
Well,
How
I
does
mean,
it end up in spam?
Well, and-
not my spam.
well, and there you go.
Their spam.
What if this? Oh, it was in their spam?
Yeah, it wasn't in my spam.
What
it was
if
in
you-
their spam?
All right. What if you replied? This is a website. It's not an email reply. So, all right, I'll move on. Okay, I don't know. From home delivery to any delivery. I say it all the time. It's like selling VIP. If you're a shipper and you're paying extra for VIP, why?
Yeah.
What do
are
you
you
get?
paying for?
What are you
Yeah.
getting?
What are you paying for?
Whatever. Me and Ty keep talking about all this craziness. Well, we talk about it here on Thursdays, you and I do, and then he and I will be bringing it to the trade shows. We're going to be at Caesar's Palace in Vegas at Car Conference at the end of March, in about 5 weeks. And there's all these, awesome panels, as, normal awesome panels. But then you got these crazy bang hangs with the transportation dumpster fire happening at. People will be in suits listening to Ty talk about transportation dumpster fire. Isn't that funny? Then the next day, I'm going to have suits in the audience and on stage with me, and we're going to talk about, not so much the dumpster fire, but the complexity of transport. The purpose is, do the lenders realize what transportation looks like? No. They have no idea. And you know why? Because nobody at the top talks like this. This goes back into, at the top, they sell them whatever they want. And then by the time it gets to the carrier, it looks nothing like the original sale. Because in auto transport, you can do whatever you want. Say whatever you want.
Totally clear.
Do whatever you want. Grab a mask and jump right in. You can do whatever you want. Here's an example. I'm not even redacting. Why redact? This was a shared screenshot from a fan of the show. You can do whatever you want.
But this is the leader of our industry, is what they
Right.
claim,
This is an industry thought leader doing whatever they want.
Yeah. And telling me that their rates are reasonable and fair and whatnot. Makes sense, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they are invited to come on the show and explain why. Yeah, I'll tell you what, and this is what's interesting. Tuesday night, we learned more about how, get this, man, brokers lowball other brokers. It never occurred to me. That never fully occurred to me. And then it settled in my mind Tuesday night. So let's say the shipper's up here. Well, that's not even true. The shipper's already down here by the time they say we're looking for a vendor. Okay? They're not up here. They're down here. The shipper says, okay, who wants to bid on this project? Bids come in, bids keep coming in. Now you get the cheapest bid, and they're already lowballing the rate.
Yep.
Now we need to move this, I'll do it right now. Thank you so much. Low rate. Now, we're already at a low broker rate. Well, they got to take their cut, pay for the building, pay for all this stuff, pay for, I don't even know, flights, Tahiti, yachts, I don't know. You're down here now. This is the rate. Let's just go a little lower.
Yeah, let's look at the...
Let's post this on the load board down. Let's just do that. Maybe they'll pick it up for that. Look how far we've come down from the original rate.
And these are the units Vance had ended up being at totally different spots, right?
Okay, so this is Vance, and it just... I'm sorry that it's the same company. Okay, so what do we got here? I see you reached out. You're having trouble with our block. Okay, is this from a few weeks ago or something?
Last week, I believe.
Okay, and then so this is his communication to them. I am absolutely livid with this load. The person in the chat said it's not going to have this BS. Basically because they're not going to get any compensation for driving around all day.
No.
Yeah. Which because there's no money left. I mean, I don't know. There's no money left. And then so here's the chat. The chat is messed up. The vehicles are not. He's trying to relay the information. It's not full of F-bombs, not yet. I redacted the person on the other end. And this is what it's like. See, and this is great too. This is what's happening. You're not busy working. You're busy fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome
finding the
to
cars.
Auto Transport. By the way, you know how much time it takes to type an argument?
Well, I'm sure he was on there for God knows how long, just waiting for them to even answer the first time. Because we know how long it takes to get on to their chat line. Usually 8 to 13 people, you're waiting for.
He says, pass this on to whoever cares enough. And which I have a feeling it was passed on to the round file. Okay. Anybody know what a round file is?
Trash can.
It's not really a
Bing,
file.
bang, boom.
Not really. But we do have it. It was the and then we go. You know what? It was the dispatcher. We didn't do anything wrong. It was the stinking dispatcher. Hey, FMCSA, we know the problem. Dispatcher. It's a problem. This was sent in. Who sent this in?
Oh.
But it was the dispatcher. I'm really conflicted about this, by the way. He's just eating his lunch. He's on the thing. It was the dispatcher. I guess maybe, what if they go SWAT like a video game player? It was the dispatcher. I don't know. But we must crush those dispatchers. We'll leave that one there. I just like that. Party of one. What else we got here? Let's see. Oh, this was sent in as if it was a negative. I actually see this as a positive. Let's read it.
they've been doing this. I get them like every day from
So,
different people.
all right, tell what's your. I don't get these. What it?
So what they're
y-
wanting,
Yeah.
this is what I think. They're wanting, the first time I got this was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And they wanted to know what all my trucks were, where they, go, that kind of thing, because they think that they're going to tailor us with their loads, which you
Y-
and I all know that's really not possible because half their loads aren't even any good. So, no,
All right. So this isn't helpful.
no.
Okay.
No, it really isn't. I
That's
mean,
what I
all you're
was
going to
looking for.
do
Okay.
is get phone calls or emails from them for stupid loads that are not where you're going or anything like that, or if they're even any good.
Because I see the idea is good, but
Yeah.
you're telling me the execution doesn't work.
No, because I mean, we get calls all day long from different brokers because they've got loads sitting on there because they're too cheap usually, or there's something wonky about them. And we can't take them just because you're calling us. It doesn't mean we're in that area. I know that Central Dispatch has a thing, and I don't know if they still do, that you can put your truck where they're at, right? So that people will call you. But you guys know how annoying that is because usually they will call you for loads that are not on your path. I mean, half the time they don't even know the difference between Arkansas and Arizona. And
Hmm.
that's true. How many times have I been called and said, I've got a car in Arizona. That's AR, right? No, that's Arkansas. So,
And see, I'm inclined to believe that there's technology that can help,
oh,
but I
I'm
also
sure.
know how technology averse we all are.
Yeah.
I don't mean me, but that
There's a
like,
lot. Yeah.
well, because if they had GPS of the trucks in the
Yeah.
system, wouldn't they know where you are?
Yeah.
But I know we don't want to be tracked because we got the whole back seat full of guns and meth or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why we're so. We're all being tracked. Newsflash: it's 2023. You're being tracked.
Right.
Your phone is tracked. Your IP address. I mean, really? The only way you're not being tracked is if you're just using cash and you know, I don't know. Your truck is tracked. You got a
Yeah.
license plate on your truck, right? I don't, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't get it. Whatever. It doesn't matter what I get or don't get. Oh, let's see here. I saw this. I want to read it. So I did a video top 5 call hung load boards. And the comment is, how can I apply to them?
Can't.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you can, but it's not. I mean, honestly, it's not going to do any good.
well, uh, see if I'm guessing this is a dispatcher or carrier, and
Hmm.
they're new.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to guess too. Because,
So, do me a favor, interpret for me what he or she means, and then explain maybe what they need to know.
well, it looks like, okay, so how do I apply to them then? Ready Logistics, I guess, not takes new carriers, is the way I'm reading that. So they must have figured out how to apply, right? And then found out they're not taking anybody new. They will make you fill out the paperwork, not the whole thing, just the basics of where you travel. And I've even tried putting weird ass places on there to get a driver signed up. It did not work. They still said I have enough people in that area. 'Cause, I mean, I picked
That
South
is so
Dakota, North
funny.
Dakota, Washington, places
Oh.
that nobody likes to go to. Didn't do me any good. They said, no, we've got plenty of carriers in that area. We'll let you know when we've got an
We
opening.
drive Rhode Island to Hawaii. Nope, we have plenty of carriers.
Yeah.
That is really funny. Okay, so top 5 central at the time. Top 5 Central Dispatch, Ready, Cars Arrive, United Road, Metro. All right, so how do you get into Central? If you're a dispatcher, you need a carrier. If you're a carrier, how do you get signed up for Central as a carrier? You just go there and what is the process like now? You give them your authority and
Yeah,
then a bunch
usually
of
it's your
money.
authority, your W-9, your insurance, your
Authority,
firstborn
W-9
child.
insurance.
Um,
Yeah,
I
but not
mean,
much else, right? As long as you
no,
pay them.
generally that's what you're giving them is your MC, your W-9, and your insurance cert. Usually they want driver name, phone number. Certain places like a new, they want the declarations page, which lists the actual driver and the
Yeah,
equipment
but you
on
just
it.
mentioned a broker.
Yeah,
Okay, but Central
sorry.
Dispatch, I mean,
Oh,
like
Central Dispatch? Yeah, no,
they
it's
don't
just
need your safety score, right?
no.
Yeah,
They
they
just
just
want
need
your paperwork.
MC
Docs.
authority, copy of your MC authority, copy of your insurance.
Yep.
A copy of your W-9 and
Yep.
payment.
Yeah, and the insurance cert, they not only want one to put on Central, but they also want one with their name on it too now. So
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you may have never hauled a car and you can get signed up.
right. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah, and as
cool.
far as I know,
Cool.
there's no delays anymore either, like there were.
Oh,
Like we
that's
were waiting
good.
for months, a while back last year, right? Now it's like you get signed up, you're signed up within 24, 48 hours, I believe.
Sweet. And Ready Logistics, is it the same or is there more? Ready, oh, so you're saying
Um,
Ready you can't get signed up with
no, Ready, you
because
can't
they
get
already
signed up.
have Rhode Island to Hawaii covered.
Yeah, they've already
Okay.
got enough
All
drivers
right.
in there.
We've already got that.
Whatever.
What about Cars Arrive?
Cars Arrive, I thought shut down too. They're not allowing any new drivers yet. I'm not sure if it's open
No
again or
kidding.
not. I know it's 90 days normally. But they had
Well,
shut it down.
hey, do you know why Ready doesn't need more drivers?
Why?
Because they're not hauling more cars.
Well, they had it too. But that
Allegedly.
would be the case.
That is a joke. That is a
So,
joke. Okay.
when did I tell you that they stopped? Over a year ago again, right? I
Well,
think we're on year 2.
let's look when the physical auctions began shutting down and it all went digital and then the fees went up. About a year ago.
It was
Okay, these are jokes, I tell you. All right, so Cars Arrive. Car Global sold Odessa, so they don't have more cars to move. Am I wrong?
no, yeah, you're
Okay.
right. Yeah.
And United Road. What's the sign up process with United Road?
It's a lot.
Is it?
So there's a 13-page contract that you have to fill out. Then there's another set of documents you got to fill out. You have to send pictures of your truck and trailer, insurance, W-9, MC authority. Then you have to sign up for the VTAS app. You got to tell them the driver's name, phone number, and also if they've got an iPhone or an Android. Then the weird part is after you send all that stuff into them, then they send you another contract, which was the same contract that you just filled out and sent to them to do it online. Bizarre.
It's interesting. As a dispatcher, I hated these sign-up
Oh
packets.
God. Yeah.
But I got to tell you, if I was a dealer or an auction or a shipper, what you just told me makes me feel a little bit better in that it's not just,
Right,
whatever
just some
guy
Joe
going to
Blow.
strap it
Yeah.
to his,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They have to be certified,
it's
and I
interesting.
I get insurance certs too and stuff like that. But I'll use their paperwork off of Central, and that's the other thing I don't understand is like how many people
Right.
when you call to get to sign
Wow.
up, they're like, we're going to send you over a packet, right? And we need you to give us your W-9 MC, blah blah blah. Well, I'm like, everything's on Central, man. But nobody will go in there and look for it. Now,
Oh,
this
I
is
know.
before it's all screwed up that since they changed the rating things. Before it was like bang bang boom, it was right there. They still didn't do it. You still had to just today alone I did a packet which was all online, but it was all crazy because it said send an insurance cert to RMIS and I'm like, that's already been done. You know what I mean? That should already be on file. Why am I sending it again? And they made me send it to them
Well,
direct.
this is actually, where we are now. There are now so many systems. The systems aren't connected properly.
Yeah. I think that's
and
exactly
that's the next stage in technology is
just
connecting the systems.
too many apps, too many. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and it gets really frustrating. I had a driver of mine was picking up for ACI the other day, and he was picking up a 4-pack at the Odessa Auto Auction in Kentucky, and they wanted him to use the Cars Arrive app for ACI, which they give you the username and password. Well, he said he couldn't get it to work. Amazing. Anyways, I don't believe him. Anyways, and so I'm on there. And I can see everything. I'm like, it's all on here. I said, you should have used it when you picked up. Well, I didn't. So he has me go do it, take off of Super Dispatch. I'm taking photos with my phone to put it all on there. And then he's laughing at me. He's like, see, this is a bunch of bullshit. This is why we shouldn't have to do all this stuff. I said, well, I get it, except for the fact that you do need to write all the damages on it, and you do need to take the pictures and stuff like that. And they, so it is a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, but it's part of the job too, right?
Well, it's interesting you say that.
Cover your ass.
Well, that's another thing, and you won't find this on the Get Rich Quick YouTube's whatevers, is that it's not, this job isn't just hauling cars.
Right.
It's way more than that. And now, Dealers, auctions, shippers, fleets, consigners, etc. Don't know what those words are? Ask me. We'll tell you. These customers demand not only the use of technology, but good damage inspections prior to pickup, prior to
At
delivery,
delivery. Yeah.
and beyond.
Yeah.
That's why you feel the pain when the lowball rate comes in. You know, at first you're like, I just need something. I gotta pay for gas. Okay. Wait until you've completed the work cycle. You will feel the pain of that gas payment. Hey, by the way, Miguel, and you can share your screen again. We're gonna bring in Renee here in a minute. Miguel's got a great question. I love this. Hey, so I'm trying to be a dispatcher. Do I need to get certified? And ALAT says, no, all you need is an LLC, set up business name, business bank account. I recommend taking a course. A good course to cut down the learning curve. A good course I recommend is good. Okay, so I love this. Meaning, what is a good course in dispatching? Because I've seen some folks putting numbers out, and I'm like, what? Why? Why would you pay that? Now, I realize there's a value here. This is why I created a free 3-part dispatching course, dispatching training series. You can click the link. Now, this was made years ago, but I believe your dispatcher training course is called Dispatching Live.
Yeah. I agree. And you don't have to be an LLC, by the way, either.
Right? You don't actually have to do, I don't think you have to do anything. Here's what you do need. You need drivers.
Yes.
So I want you to ask yourself, I want you to go look in the mirror, drink some raw eggs like Rocky, and ask yourself, why do I want to be a dispatcher? Because if it's to just make money, there are other ways, there are better ways to make money. But if there's something you know about trucking, like if your family is in trucking, yeah, I could see it. But if you're just trying to pick a career, man, I wouldn't pick dispatching. And I know that's harsh. And I also know that 2 years ago when the world shut down and we all lived in we lived in like a closet with a chair, dispatching seemed like a good choice. Well, the world has opened back up. There are other job opportunities. I wouldn't pick dispatching unless, going back to, maybe you're a family member of somebody in trucking, maybe you know some truckers. Sue, am I off base?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
So there's good times, there's bad times. I think you see that in any business that you own.
Well, you've been doing it for 20 years.
Right. And
Yeah.
honestly, you have to be able to because literally you're going to be sitting in your home by yourself. Okay. So keep that in mind. You have to be a self-starter, which means you have to roll your ass out of bed at a certain time and you have to keep working. Sometimes I work till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night because I'm dealing with something that happened while the driver's trying to pick up, or, something went down and I get calls at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm on Central Standard Time. So it all depends on your motivation, I guess. Depends on if you want to work from home, because it is hard to work from home when you're sitting there by yourself. I mean, the first, I'm going to say 5 to 7 years, that's what I did. I sat by myself in my house because I was also raising my son. He was a baby when I started this. And it gets rough when you don't have anybody to talk to other than the brokers and the places you're verifying. Like when I'm training my dispatchers and they're trained, we still all hang out on Zoom together, or UMA, which is a form of Zoom. And just so we have somebody to chit chat with or joke with or whatever. So you're not just sitting there by yourself. Now that makes a difference. It is hard. You have rough seasons. Like right now, we're in the rough season. And he's right. During COVID, it was bad. But then it went from bad to glad. Okay. It was outrageously good. Money was flowing. It was fantastic. I was talking to one of my owners and she said between last year and this year, it's been horrible. So that kind of tells you how the cycle runs too. And you have to remember to, a lot of people get really stressed out and they take this personally when you can't find a load. And some of the drivers out there have different expectations, and they expect you to be a magical person
This
that
brings
can
you to
find
expectations.
every
Preach,
every load possible, or any weird thing that could be on there that could make them a whole bunch of money. They make you feel like you're responsible, or you're just the type of person that you feel bad and you're going to cry at the end of the day because you didn't get your driver loaded. Now, I will be honest, that used to be me 15 years ago. It's not me anymore. It is what it is, and we're going to roll with the punches. And I kind of just tell people that anymore. I mean, we're limited with what we have. We're limited if you're brand new as a driver and you aren't signed up with anybody. It takes time to sign up with all the major brokers, sometimes 90 days, sometimes 6 months. Wholesale is 6 months. So it is a process, and it's a learning process, not just, especially if you get a brand new driver, you're teaching them. I sometimes have to tell them how to load the trailer because they didn't know how to put the cars on the trailer, and stuff like that. And we do extra services for people that I know nobody else does. Like, we put them in pickup and delivery order. I know for a fact there's a lot of dispatchers that don't even verify the cars, and the driver shows up and whoops, oh well, the car has just left, And we also like do all the billing and follow through to make sure they're going to get paid. And there's a lot of dispatch companies, they just find you the load and send you on your way. We do not do that. We do a bunch of extra stuff. And I know over the last few years of us doing this show, a lot of dispatch companies have popped up out of the woodwork, and they are not doing what we do, and probably will never do what we do. There's a lot entailed in this. I mean, some days we're just verifying cars. It takes one car all day long to get verified because the damn dealership wouldn't even return your phone calls, or you had to send the driver anyways because they still hadn't returned your phone calls. So it's stressful. Don't get me wrong. It's very stressful. It's not as stressful. I mean, if you go work at McDonald's, you're just working for somebody. Okay.
Exactly. See, even if you work in collections or for a credit card company,
you're still working.
Nobody calls you at home.
Right. You are working for yourself. You are depending on yourself.
You work a set number of hours, and it may be tough, but you get to clock out.
Yes.
You don't get never to clock out in dispatching.
Well, and it's not even dispatching. If you own your own business, usually you can't clock out. So there's a different mindset for somebody that owns their own business and somebody that goes to work every day for somebody else that owns that business. And you have to have the right mindset to be able to handle it.
And listen, ALAT, you're right about the LLC. We agree with you. We're just saying that you literally... You can open a lemonade stand or a dispatching office with about the same credentials.
An LLC, I mean, what are you saying? You get advantages for LLC?
Well, he's talking about tax and shelter and protection, and LLC is good.
LLC doesn't really even protect you as far as
right.
If somebody does something.
We're gonna get
incorporated, yes.
So we're gonna get in the weeds here, but it's good stuff to think about. But what Sue just said about there's a lot more dispatch offices, and it's almost like a new carrier. Mm-hmm. What makes you great at what you do?
Right.
I mean, experience, unfortunately, is one of those things, and you're going to find out. You're going to go through a lot of crying.
Yeah, and you'll probably go through a lot of drivers.
It is going, and what the drivers expect and what they say. Oh, and I've had this. I fell for this. I had a driver. I'm years down the road of this business. Mm-hmm. And I had a driver like, oh yeah, man, blah, 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 we're gonna do all these, and I tell him all this stuff, and I spend all this time. Disappears, this guy. Mm-hmm. Never booked a load for him. Spent hours on the phone with him.
Yeah.
And I thought, my God, that's right. This is auto transport. You can do whatever you want. And people do. All right, do me a favor. Stick around. We're going to be right back. Right after this, we're going to bring in Renee Lowe of Hardingsworks Insurance Agency. Perfect time, because Renee has some questions about what is a dispatcher, what does Sue do, etc. We're going to go into that, so stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31 at yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Welcome back to Dispatching Live here on Thursday at noon Central Time. We got 30 more minutes. This show goes so fast. Really happy to bring in our next live guest. This is Renee Lowe from Harding Brooks Insurance Agency. I put the link in the live chat. Keep putting your questions and answers, ideas, and whatnot in the live chat. Renee, can you hear us?
Hello, Jay. Hello, Sue.
Hey, Renee, how are you?
I'm good. It's nice to meet you, Sue.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
This is great. All right, so, Sue, you can take the screen back when you're ready, because looking at the load board will be helpful as we talk. Renee, let's kick this off. You asked me a question, and I said you should come on the show and ask us.
So
What?
I was listening last week, and listening to Sue when she was talking about not being able to rate, like if someone did damages.
Mhm.
Did I understand that correctly, Sue?
Well, it was only if you did the load before the 9th. So anything after the 9th, they created like it's all brand new. Like you can't rate anybody in the past. You can't do anything with them. None of the above. So yes, you can after the 15th, but or the 9th, but you can't do anything before that. And our thing happened before that, and then the 15th hit when they delivered, and then we were screwed. So basically.
So that made me think, because, I'm insurance and I'm always looking like risk mitigation and everything.
Mhm.
So, and you talked a little bit about certificates today, but do you not get a certificate of insurance
Oh,
from
yeah.
the auto hauler?
Yeah, absolutely. We do. That's not the thing. So like, they'll have deductibles. So like, for example, the damage was only $1,000. Their deductible was $2,500. So I'm not turning this into insurance because it's not going to do me any good. So what we used to use was Central Dispatch they don't back us up. That's not the right way to put it. But by putting it on there, it lets somebody else know, one, that they've damaged cars. Two, usually you could get them to take care of their mess if you gave them a negative, but now you can't even remove the negatives. So you have nothing to hold over their head at all, period. So there's that too. So that's what's going with the ratings, as on Central.
So yeah, okay. Because I was just thinking, anybody, can turn a claim in against somebody. So,
Yes.
You could always turn in that claim if you knew who their insurance company was, and they would have to fight the deductible out with their insurance company if they didn't, if they didn't make it right with you. So that's just what I was wondering about. I assumed you must get certificates of insurance, and
Yes.
and so.
Yes,
And
that's just the problem is that I have turned them in on, but we have to deny this because it's under their deductible, and they do not make, none of the insurance companies I've ever dealt with do not make them pay,
Okay. So
which sucks. So,
Now, Renee, I know I added you. You might have only had one question. You're like, okay, I'm good. But I tell you, Renee, do you understand what Sue does?
So I think I do, from a very broad level, especially after listening today a little bit more. But I would really think it'd be great if Sue gave me the introduction 101 to see if what I'm thinking is right.
Sure, I can do that. So what we do is we use load boards. We sign up carriers with us as, transporters, and we find all of their vehicles as far as like point A to point B. Most of my drivers are home every Friday or Saturday. So we're doing loads, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday till we get them home. By getting the loads for them, then we also verify each car to make sure they're there, make sure who they need to speak to, where they need to park, that kind of thing. Then we put them in pickup and delivery order for the driver just to make it easier on them so they're not driving around in circles trying to figure it out themselves. We ask them to always call the delivery to make sure where they need to park, make sure their money is ready if it's a COD, that kind of thing. Then once they deliver the vehicle, then we bill out everything. And we use Super Dispatch, which is an e-BOL system, so it makes our lives a whole lot easier now. And all you do is push a button, send that to that broker for payment, and then we follow up to make sure that the payment's going out on the day they said it's going to go out, and make sure that the driver got the money, and then just kind of keep track of it. So once a week we send out an invoice of everything they did from Monday through Friday, and then also an accounts receivable list of who owes them and what date the check's going to go out, that kind of thing.
Okay. So that's kind of what, after listening today, I was getting a little better understanding of
Sure.
how your world flowed. So,
Works.
but do you ever work like if a lender has repossess a vehicle? Do you schedule those loads for them to pick up off a repossessor lot? Jay,
Awesome.
you know I was going to talk about repo.
I love this. Exactly. And here's what's cool. So Sue is also a broker. Now,
Yes.
a dispatcher working for carriers cannot help because this gets into brokering. Am I right, Sue?
Right.
Okay, so take it away. So, Renee, what's the scenario again? A lender has a vehicle that needs to be repossessed and needs to find a carrier, right?
Well, so the lender had a vehicle to be repossessed,
Mhm.
and we'll just say that he had Brianna and Corey at Asset pick up that vehicle. Is sitting on their lot in Houston, and that vehicle needs to be picked up from their lot, taken to an auction. So can Sue do that?
Sue,
Yes, so
Sue
in
can
two
do
different
it, but
ways
as
I
a
can do it.
broker,
Two different ways.
right?
Well,
Oh,
I
I'm
could.
sorry.
Well, I mean, it could be a load listed there, is what she's saying too, right? Is that what I'm saying?
No, I don't think
You're
so.
saying. Okay,
Now,
so
I'm a
looking at two
lender.
different scenarios.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So
I'm a lender,
one,
and I just need my
and you
vehicle
called me.
picked up.
Okay, so if you're a lender, I'm the broker then, and you're calling me to schedule it, then I'm going to list it on the load board and find a transporter that's going to move it, and then I will get their insurance or their MC, you know, that kind of thing, to set them up with my company to transport it. Now, if that load was sitting there on the load board, I would call and then schedule the pickup for the driver. But I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of repos because it's a pain in the butt.
So, and I want to jump in here. See, so what's weird, this is where it gets really weird. And this is one of the weird things that's happened in this industry, is that, Renee, it probably doesn't make sense why the lender can't just find a dispatcher to get the load moved off of the repo lot.
Right.
But because a whole new system of business called brokering has come into the picture, which requires a broker's license, and this is the origin of the problem. Your customer, the insurance agency, needs to be protected if something goes wrong. If a dispatcher without a broker's license arranges for the freight and there's a problem, they just disappear.
Right.
And the insurance company says, whoa,
What just happened? Yeah.
what just happened? This is why brokering licenses exist and why brokering definitions exist, because the arrangement of freight requires a level of liability. And that's why as soon as you're arranging for freight, I'm going to keep using that because that is one of the key terms. As soon as there's an arrangement of freight with a client and money's exchanged, you need a brokering license, and that's brokering. And a dispatcher, just somebody off the street that could have either done a lemonade stand or dispatching, doesn't have that level of authority. I apologize to dispatchers. It's a tough job, but you don't have the legal protection on behalf of the client.
Because as a broker, we have to have not just a license, but we also have a broker bond
Right.
that covers us as well.
So I understand that, and that makes sense. But so Sue, you said you don't like to do repossessions. You don't like to. So what makes them so difficult?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios.
Okay.
So, for example, Ready Auto loves to list them on their load board. One, they're usually not accurate whether they have a key, run, and drive. My drivers have to have something that runs and drives. So by the time we get a hold of the repo agent, if we can get a hold of them, then they don't always tell us the truth about whether it runs and drives or if it has keys, or Rat has lied about it and not told us that. So it's usually a wash with us. It's like there was no point in even spending the hour worth of time trying to get this scheduled. Secondly, the drivers have such a hard time with, you know, times and getting to certain places. They may think they're going to be like, because you'll usually have to make an appointment at a repo yard.
Right.
And so here's the problem. Like they may say they're going to be there at 1 o'clock, but something happened down the road where he was picking up another car and whatever happened took him an extra hour. So now we can't pick up that car. So that was a waste of time too. So that is my major problems with them. Usually they don't have keys. Usually they don't run and drive. Most of my drivers don't have winches and will not do cars without. Even if they had a winch, they won't do them without keys. And then secondly, the appointment times are usually almost impossible to make. I've done a few of them when they give us a window of like 2 to 4. I can work with that. But most of them are, okay, if you make your appointment at 1, you've got a 15-minute wiggle room. That's about it. If you don't show up, we're done. The other problem we have with repo yards is usually they're only open on certain days. I've had many repo yards list like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday only. So it doesn't work in our schedule either. And then the other problem is, like I said, I had a repo one just yesterday, called them to schedule it. Nobody would answer the phone calls. Nobody would return my phone calls.
So that's helpful. And, part of that goes back to, Jay, it's like how you're always talking about the ecosystem and everything. And it's like, so, the lenders won't allow the repossessors to cut keys.
Mm-hmm.
So it just another point why they need to let them cut keys so that they can have a key when you come to pick it up. That would help me, negate that one thing.
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of drivers out there that do it, and they kind of probably specialize in it. I'm just not one of them because it just takes too much time.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Do you know, Renee, I love that you brought all this up, that we're talking about it, and I just thought, man, this would be such an amazing educational session at Repo Summit.
Oh, at NARS, yeah.
I mean, we don't have time to put it together, probably, but what you just said, because it's literally the crux of the problem. This is why I used to have a repo hammer. Because, what's the repo hammer? We've said this before. I had a hammer sitting on my desk. It was an idea of a driver, and I did it because, I'm crazy. And I took a hammer, and I wrote ATI repo hammer on it. And he said, anytime you think of booking another repo load for me, I want you to hit yourself on the knuckles with this hammer and not do it. And the reasons he wanted me to crush my knuckles with a hammer, the repo hammer, is because of what Sue said. We never know if there's keys. I just jotted down top problems of booking a repo load.
Yeah.
The information you get is trash. I don't know why it's so bad. It seems like there are just kids running the load boards when they've talked to the lender or whoever about it's crap. You never have the right information.
Yeah.
I mean, wrong addresses, wrong cars. I mean, it's crazy.
Wrong phone numbers. Yeah.
They don't tell you the wheels are missing. You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's say you get the dispatch. A dispatcher always calls the pickup location to verify that car is ready to go. And verify that the car it's not a semi. It's not a U-body. It's not, wrapped around a tree. You call these people. You can't get anybody on the phone when you call the repo lot. And if you do, it's a call center that can't put you in touch with the repo lot. It's ridiculous. So, crap information, you can't get a hold of anybody, plus it doesn't pay any better than a regular used car. You're putting me through all these hoops, and you're not going to pay me any better? Why would I even bother? But let's say you get through those 3 things. Now you got to set an appointment. I got everybody jerking my chain. I've been on chat arguing for an hour. I'm trying to put loads together. This is a nightmare. And you're going to give me a 1-hour window 3 days from now? I can't do that. I don't have a crystal ball. I guarantee that something will go wrong, whether it's traffic or, whether it's auto transport related or not, or I got to run to the bank because nobody will pay me, and I got to put gas in my tank, and I got to run to Western Union to beg for money. I don't know, there's too many freaking reasons why not to book a repo load. Yeah. Now, I put down the hammer because I now understand repo agents have almost more problems. So I don't know what we do, but you're right. It goes back to the lender. If there was a way to get the lender to listen to all the problems of these people, let us cut some keys. give us some more money for storage on the lot. All these things, because it seems like somebody's making money somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere. So, Jay, we're going to have to corner Vaughn and Joel about this idea
That's a great idea. Yeah.
for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, at NARS. That would be great.
That would be great. That really would be great. Yeah, help me put that together. That's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
I will.
Well, Renee, thank you so much for joining us. It was really helpful. Do you have any final
thank you.
questions? I don't know. Anything? Like, do you know what the load boards are? Have you ever seen load boards?
I have not seen load boards until I started watching your show on Thursdays. Now I have.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, what do you? I mean, do they look to you? Do they look? I mean, I'm assuming that would look pretty sweet. You know, you got the money, you got the car, pickup delivery location. Does it look like a pretty slick system?
Well, it looks like, that it gives you all the information that you need from somebody that's, looking from 100, yard view or something. But I am sure that there's probably many issues with it. And you guys use it for so many other things, I think, is a communication tool to kind of inform people about things.
I'll say this. Since you already know about lenders needing loads moved and loads being at repo lots, do you find it interesting that you've never seen a load board other than on this show?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Right? What has happened? How is it that this industry, which is more than a cottage industry, is like a giant secret in automotive? You never see anybody. I mean, I know about insurance certificates and all kinds of stuff, desking and window stickers, but nobody gets to see the load board. What is that weird?
Yep.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
True,
But you
yeah,
know
'cause
what?
Unless you have an account, you're not allowed to see it.
And you know what? Now somebody with a suit and tie is be like, yeah, that is a great idea. We're going to do that. We're not going to include Jay and Sue and the ragtags, but we're going to go on LinkedIn and make this wonderful video about how great and actually I've seen LinkedIn videos talk about how great, their technology is, but you never see anything and you never really talk to anybody that uses it, but you hear how great it is. So I guess that counts.
Okay, I do have one last question now that I'm looking at this load board really carefully.
All right.
So there were two showing up, like this the Chevy Malibu and the 2018 Kia Sportage. Okay, they're in red. Why are they in red?
Let's see. What does the red look like?
So it's either in-op or
yeah, if it's got a motor, that means it's an in-op. If
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
looks
so
like a
that's what- I
red
couldn't
trailer,
tell.
it's enclosed.
which is
That's
funny.
the-
Okay, check
They're
it
the
out. Hey, stop your refresh for a second.
I did. I got it here.
Allegedly. I didn't. Can we redact that? There's no refresh here. Okay, so Ready Logistics. Those are both repo loads.
Yep.
You know how we know that? Because number one, that Mississippi Clarksdale, I'm pretty sure that's a repo lot.
Yep.
It's posted by Ready Logistics. It's an in-op.
Yep.
Yeah. And
That's
and there's
definitely
also decimals, which is usually another clue that you're looking at it. Now, is that load worth it? If there's a load next to it paying
The same amount?
there's no way Sue is going to call that load.
No.
So these repo loads, it's like we can see. It's like when you check the eggs at the grocery store and you see the broken one. What do you do with the broken egg sitting in your egg carton? You move it.
Yeah.
You don't buy it. This is what happens to the repo loads are undesirable loads. This is why the lot is full.
Yep.
Nobody wants
that's
them.
True.
Yeah.
And because I've got a driver sitting there right now, right? And that's why I've got a 100-mile radius up there. But he doesn't have a winch. But even if I wanted that load, I'd have to give him a 24-hour notice. We still wouldn't be able to pick it up today.
And those loads may or may not have keys. We
Right.
really don't know.
Right.
Now, Ready Logistics is going to say, well, we've posted the information. I got a buck. One of those isn't even in the right place. Or isn't even there yet. Or you can't pick it up yet. What about
it's been
customer
redeemed.
redemptions? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, no. It's such a nightmare.
Yeah, because that happens too all the time too.
This is why auto transport and repo do not speak.
Well, we have to
and
do
that's
something
how-
to improve that
We
world
do.
a little better. You've been working on it, Jay, and that's
I know,
awesome.
right? Well, and you recognize that. So, Renee, kudos to you for listening.
Okay. Well, that was all my questions, but I'm really, going to continue to watch on Thursdays because I learn a whole lot from you two.
Oh,
Awesome.
man.
That's great.
Thank you
We
so
don't hear
much,
that a lot.
Renee. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't get much of anything. Still living on sardines and chocolate. All right, well, listen, Renee, you have a great day and keep in touch. Let me know
You
how
too.
we can help, okay?
Thank you. Bye,
All right,
guys.
thank
thanks,
you.
Renee.
We'll talk to you
Renee
later.
Lowe, Harding Brooks Insurance. That was awesome. Let's see here. So here's what I'll do. I'll just put Renee back in the waiting room so she can go with her own schedule. We've only got 15 minutes left. I thought that was an awesome segment.
Yeah.
Let's recap. So what's a takeaway? Take it away, Sue.
Well, I
You
mean,
can say
I don't
whatever
know.
you want because
I mean,
Renee,
I don't know if you'll
Renee's a
ever
real
convince
person.
me into doing repos unless you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I have done them. You know, I've done them. You've done them, but they
Yeah.
all have to be lined up correctly in the stars. And, I don't know how many times too that I've actually set it up and everything was kosher. And then the driver shows up and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, it's been redeemed. So to me, it's not always worth it to do this. Just like, for example, we were looking at this ready load that we know is a repo, right? It's paying $310. Yeah, that's good, I guess. But
It's
when
not
you
that
have
great.
no, not when you have no key. You have to
It's
make
not.
an appointment. You have to, if you're there right now, you're screwed because you can't pick it up today. So then you've lost a whole day if that's what you're really, aiming for. I just the repo industry, and I mean, I'm not saying it's their fault. I mean, I've dealt with great repo companies that do like one of the guys was on there saying use their online thing, which I have used, but not all repo agencies do that. A lot of them are
I
the
know.
good old boys.
I
You know what I
No,
mean?
they don't. Yeah, they do
And
not
they don't answer no phones.
No,
and
they don't have a
you know,
system. They don't have a phone.
no. And they'll say, "Oh, well, I think it runs and drives. I think I got keys," and you're like, "Well, I can't go with I think. I gotta
Yeah,
know."
I think is
Yeah.
not.
No.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, the ones that are, the one he was talking about, I think it said clear something on there.
Clear plan.
Those usually are pretty
clear
accurate.
Plan, clear data.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then you can usually work with that, but I will tell you almost always they don't have keys or they don't run and drive.
There's
far between.
almost always a problem.
Yes. And it's not worth the problems to go pick it up unless that's just what you specialize in. I mean, if you're driving around in a tow truck or something like that, or a tow truck where you can carry two of them, I could see doing that. But I don't think a tow truck driver would even do that price right there.
Well, and so no, God no.
Yeah.
That's it. So, and here's the thing: have you ever? I was just thinking, have you ever booked? Let's say you have a 3-car wedge.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever booked a 3-car wedge picking up 3 repos?
No,
Like
there's
3?
very few
I've
you're going to
never
find
done
all
that.
3 of them at the same
I've
place.
actually never booked a 3-car
these
wedge
are.
to pick up 3 repos.
And you can see that Cars Arrive is pulling them out of the same place too, right there. So there's 3 out of there. You can see that, but still, once again,
and actually you raised a good point. Well, now why didn't Cars Arrive list their Corolla repo in red?
because they're trying to claim it runs and drives.
What are the chances that thing is not a run and drive?
Probably 100%. Because also, like, look down here, they put INOP has key repo.
Right. Okay. In-op key.
Yeah.
So that's
repo.
clearly
Doesn't mean
it
it runs and
says
drives.
it's not a run and
Like-
drive, but
like-
it's not showing up as a.
Well, and here's the other thing I've had problem
hilarious.
with repo places. They don't let your truck on the lot. They're
Okay, see,
expecting a tow truck.
Okay, thank you. And this is another inherent problem with repossession is that you can't. It's not like pulling up to a dealership.
No. It's not, and that's the
No.
problem too.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God. And
I
then
literally had them take my guy. I think we had one in Louisiana one time, and he was trying to pick it up, and they said, "You're not even allowed on our lot. You can't even have this vehicle." After I had done everything
okay.
I was supposed to do.
And by the way, guess then what happens? Tempers flare.
Yeah.
Have a
And
good
then
time
the driver
with
says,
that.
"F off."
Yeah,
I'm
your
leaving this
driver
place.
calls you red-faced and says, "Never effing send me
Ever.
here again."
Yeah, or
Find
never
me a
ever give me a
load.
repo
You
ever
get
again.
you get back on your computer and
Yep.
find me a load, or
Yep.
you're yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're crying at the end of the day. By the way,
Yep.
it's 4:57 and there's nothing to book.
On the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're screwed, and now you're sitting.
Now
or
you're
going with
screwed.
one
And
that-
everybody wants to know. You talk to Ready, talk to Cars Rive, and they're like, "But I don't get it. I don't know what the problem is."
it just, yeah,
It is. It's yeah.
it's unfortunate.
I am really tempted to go look for my repo hammer now that we talked about this. Now that's another joke. See, he's a kidder, but it really is amazingly frustrating. And how much more money? See, this gets back into the chicken nuggets of auto transport. Okay,
Yeah.
I can get a used car at a dealer that was a trade-in that nobody wants. It's going back to the auction that pays like $50 less than this repo nightmare.
Right.
Gee.
Not even.
Are you
question.
gonna book
Yeah.
the repo nightmare for $50 more?
No. No.
By the way, we're talking about $50.
Yeah.
This guy runs a business. He's got a trailer payment, an insurance payment, a truck payment, family that wishes he was at home, DOT hunting and searching for him throughout the day and the night, truck stops that don't have room. I could go on, and we're talking about 50 freaking bucks. Are you ready to jump right in? You should. This is the most amazing time to get into this business of chicken nuggets. I'm telling you, grab your dog and get by the highway, because this is the easiest thing, the easiest money you'll ever make. And it's fun. There's no problems. Everybody tells the truth all the time. Everything's above board. You will live like a king. Sound familiar? Well, this is YouTube, so I guess we're in the right place. Live chat. Yeah, no. See,
No more
well,
repo.
and I love the passion of the repo industry because they really want to figure this out.
Right. It's past it.
I don't know how it's going to. And you know what? It comes back to the same. She's talking about the auto lenders, and we're talking about the load board security guards that aren't listening. Right?
Right.
How many times have you dealt with an in-op repo nightmare? It didn't work out. You go back to the load board and you tell them, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And they repost it exactly the way you found it.
Yeah.
They don't update any notes, nothing. Tell me nobody cares. Actually, I like load board security guards. That was a good one. But you know, Sue...
Yes.
Yeah, hey, Elena's not sad anymore. That's what it's all about.
No, it says now I am more sad.
Oh, no. Crap, I read it wrong. You know, Vance was saying he'll drive you to smoke a joint and drink bourbon. That is no joke, by the way. I mean, I've heard. I read it. Little birds.
I don't know if she texts. No, she doesn't.
Cause a distraction, Sue.
How's the what? I'm sorry, we were trying to get a list. Go ahead.
Vance says pigeon nuggets. It's pigeon nuggets?
Big and
Right. It's not even chicken nuggets. It's not even
Pigeon
real
nuggets.
chicken. Oh, that's good. Oh, God. Oh, man. Sheesh. All right. Well, we got
Yes.
5 minutes left. I'll take the screen back. Let's finish up the news because I think I have 5 more minutes of news here. This is why we say Bachelorette Truck Stop. It's here. Because you can do your bitching and get out of the kitchen. All right. Titans and Car Shipping 2, that was Tuesday night. And we really did have a great show. You know, it's a strange thing to say. And we had heads of well-known. I mean, this is what makes ATI such a special platform, is that not only did we have the heads, but the live chat was going crazy. Jumping off a building. I don't think I found the best, but there was a lot going on in the live chat. And so on ATI, what we're doing is we're connecting executives with carriers and everything in between, and we're trying to do the best we can and navigate all this craziness. When you see that you're dealing with a podcast, consume it, get it. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Let me know. Send in the news. What do you want to share? What do you want to ask? What do you want to know? What do you want to correct? You can correct the record. Be our guest. Say hello. Call Ty 417-483-2764. Ty believes in building a lane and talking to people. And I did see it again there was another Facebook post today. I need a dispatcher ASAP. And I thought I'm like, okay, I get reasons why you need a dispatcher, but I'm wondering if the reasons you have are the reasons why dispatchers are helpful. When I see I need a dispatcher ASAP, I think that means I need better paying loads on the load boards ASAP. And I'm not sure those expectations are correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we are on the same page on that. Okay. It's ATI Auto Business, and tomorrow on Cars on the Move, where we talk about clients and lanes and stuff, remarketing with Holman. Do you know what Holman is?
No.
See, isn't that great? Man, I love this channel. Holman is this giant fleet management company. They move so many vehicles. Now, I'm not saying somebody in business for 2 years with a 3-car wedge is going to be able to haul for them, but Holman works with brokers that works with carriers.
Oh, okay.
Because they're so big. They move so many cars. Tomorrow, we're going to have a show with Holman, with Mike Buchanan and Holly Vallant. And that's on Cars on the Move. And I'd say, I'm going to put the link in the live chat. If you get a chance, tune in. Because that's another thing that we're trying to do here on ATI, is we're trying to give a full picture. This is a giant automotive ecosystem. Let's see. Tuesday night, we're going to do ATI Everything, which is kind of a recap of some of what we've done, a look ahead at trade shows, more on Jay and Ty, kind of Jay and Ty talking brass tacks kind of thing. That's Tuesday night. And then, that's the end of my news. And it's 1:28. Dang! That is not too shabby. Anything to add before we let our friends go for another week? Before we set everybody wild into the ecosystem for another week?
I don't think so.
You
You don't want to get me started about the rating thing again, so we'll just leave that alone.
Okay, well, so, all right, so... Well, okay, so you're still pissed.
I'm furious.
Okay. Well, take it away. Tell us more. I mean, what...
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's still the same concept of why would you do this when you know that, okay, so we base a lot of our stuff off of ratings and they want us to do that. But why would you cut us off at the knees and just say, okay, from this point forward, now you can only you can only rate. I mean, that just blows my mind. That's number one, that you just took it out of our hands and didn't really. They're saying they put this on here, but I didn't see it. They didn't tell me when I did their little thing with them either, that I spent an hour and a half with them. Not once did they say, oh, by the way, make sure you get all your ratings in by this date, because after that you're screwed. Nobody told me that. But because, like I said, I would have been talking about it on the show repeatedly. And then secondly, this whole thing of basically, as a broker, we don't have a leg to stand on. When you clearly say that you can do whatever you want, that's what's going to happen. You can do whatever you want. And it pisses me off because as a broker, that's not right. It's not fair. I mean, as a transporter, hey, yeah, I'm cool with it. Okay. But there's two sides to this coin, and it's not fair for the broker to get screwed over. And it's just like I told the girls, I said, okay, we can't give negatives. We can't give ratings because you can't remove them, right? And if we're wanting these people to pay us a broker fee, used to be I gave a negative so I could get the broker fee and remove it. Now you can't even do that. If you give them a broker fee, you give them a negative, you're done. So what initiative is that going to make you pay me my broker fee? Because I can't say I'm holding it over your head. Well, I'll remove it off of Central. No, we can't. So
that's
Yeah.
interesting. The power of the negative has been removed.
right, basically,
Huh.
because once you give that negative or whatever you want to call it, because it's ratings, transactional ratings, it's still a negative. You're going to give them a 111, and you're going to bitch
'Cause
about it. You
wasn't
can't
that the
remove it.
purpose of the negative, is to wield it as a tool to get somebody to do something?
Well, I don't know if that's how they saw it, but that's how I
Well,
have been seeing
but
it
that's
for
how
years.
brokers and carriers use negative ratings to
Yes.
make each other do the
Do what
right
you're
thing,
supposed to
right?
do. Yeah.
Because guilt apparently
Bill does
doesn't
it.
work.
Well, true, but
Nobody
yeah,
in auto
so-
transport cares about guilt.
Yeah. Well, and in the same respect, if you were a transporter and didn't get paid, it's the same kind of thing. Once it's
Well,
on, it's on.
That's
know
what
what I
makes this more of like a mafia deal, is
Yeah.
that, the threat of a gun in the pocket
Yeah.
will get you to,
Yeah.
pay the monthly protection fee or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's where we are.
Yeah.
It's not only can you do whatever you want, but if you want somebody to do the right thing, you have to threaten them.
Yeah.
This is post-apocalyptic.
Which is sad. Which is sad, but that is,
It is
the way
sad,
it works.
but that is the way it works. And
Yeah.
even if you do get them to do the right thing, how many pigeon nuggets did you really get?
Right. Right.
But this is the perfect time to jump right in. Absolutely. This is the most amazing industry. It's incredible. You drive around in your truck, and it's
See the
awesome.
world for no money.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's so super
You're on
cool.
permanent vacation.
Yeah, be cool. Get in.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Yeah, and they are. I'm getting calls left and right. I need a dispatcher. I'm brand new. It amazes me the amount of brand new people that are calling me, signing up. It's crazy.
I'm dying to know, where did they get that idea?
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
want to know.
A lot of it's YouTube. if
But
you really wanna know.
I've you know what? And I've seen some. I don't know if it's I don't think it's TikToks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are still guys. I was talking about this. It blows my mind. I think people just. It's just people are going to do whatever they want. There are still guys saying like, this is the time. Freight rates are great.
Right.
You're better than everybody else. You can do it. Believe in. I don't know. It's just wacky.
Yeah.
Like there's no it's as if business reality doesn't matter because you think something differently.
Right. Right.
If you think it will,
Happen.
I guess until you're staring at the bills and then you realize, holy crap, what's that like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. And that's why I asked Brian what he sees with the authorities, companies getting out, companies getting in. He sees
All of it. Yeah.
that turnover, and I think he has just kind of tried to numb himself to the shock and the pain, the shock and awe of
Yeah,
that
of it all.
turnover. It's
Yeah.
brutal.
Have you talked to him recently? Is it higher now than it was last year?
I think so, in both directions. I think turnover's higher and people getting in is higher.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
a
crazy.
Ferris wheel of insanity.
Yeah.
But we have him back on in which is irrelevant. I mean, I don't even know why. It's just, it's just fun to talk about. He's going to be back on. Oh, is it not? Oh, I think he's coming back next Wednesday. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
We're going to do a show next Wednesday. So, yes. If you get a chance to join, I'll share the link to it.
Okay.
Let's let's see. Let me grab the link. Next Wednesday show, live carrier advice with your DOT guy, Brian Riker. And Wednesday show link. Not many people tune in for live carrier advice. I think we're still trying to figure out. It's more of an analysis of, like, I'll tell you what I like about live carrier advice is we talk about like current legal issues, which the problem with current legal issues is it's only interesting when you have current legal issues.
The rest of the time it doesn't
Right.
matter.
Otherwise, yeah, it
Until
really
you're down
doesn't
and
matter.
dirty.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like the dentist or the accountant.
Yep.
You don't care until you have a problem,
Right.
which is
Like,
interesting too, because that's
solid.
that's where auto transport is. The shippers don't care until they have a problem.
Yeah.
And getting back to the lenders, I was thinking about the lenders. They're making money off the loans and their interest and all this stuff. And so they've really created like a management threshold of this is how much money we make, regardless of what happens. And then they should build in like, okay, this amount of people are not going to pay. So this is the number of cars we're going to have to repo. And guess what? That gravy train we've been on isn't the same for the repos. Somebody needs to let somebody know that the gravy train on a repo is going to be a thinner gravy margin. Now, I realize that might be like a super simple analysis, an unrealistic analysis, but I have a notion that people that are used to thick gravy never want to see it thin out a little bit. It's kind of like shareholders. Shareholders cannot handle bad news. That was the whole point of buying the stock. And when they're given a less gravy notion, they're not pleased.
Yeah.
Because they're going to put $5,000 in cash in the safe every month regardless. And it isn't coming out of my gravy. Now, what I just said, there are no carriers putting $5,000 in cash in their safes every month.
Yeah.
But there are bankers doing it, and they ain't cutting back.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're in the, wealthy, whoever that is, they're certainly not watching. If you're in that wealthy gravy segment, you're not only not cutting back, your expectation is to keep making thicker gravy.
Yeah.
And it's the thick gravy crowd that sends money to the super PACs and goes to those events to legislate business to make thicker gravy. Thanks for tuning in again for another Dispatching Live. It is painful comedy every Thursday. Sue,
Yes.
thank you so much for being a part of it.
No problem. Love it. This is my break for the week every week.
It really is. I think it's everybody's break. It's become everybody's, reality show craziness. Well, all 20 and there's 20 of us. There's 20 for 20. Okay, for 20 people in North America, I think. All right. Please do join. Check out the links in the live chat of other shows coming up. We got a show tomorrow, Tuesday night, Wednesday, yada yada. It's ATI Auto Business. What do we say, office?
And what do we say, everybody? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Take care. Keep us
All right.
posted. All right, see ya.